Cash flow is really, really important in business. I've worked as head of finance for companies for over 20 years now, so I've learned a lot over the years. And I'd like to share some of these kind of top tips on cash flow with you. Firstly, employees. Employees are great, but they're expensive. So before you commit to employing that extra person, make sure you've got the work for them consistently. Not just a peak, but consistently. Employees are one of the most expensive resources a firm has, and you should just be very careful about increasing your employee numbers. The second tip I'd say is to cut your cloth to suit your measure. Now what this means is that when business changes, to react. So often, people will go through a slump or a seasonality, and the important thing is to react to that. Companies that don't react often have higher costs than their new revenues, and that's a recipe for disaster. Successful companies, they react to it. They change people to part-time, they take away some hours, they don't employ that extra person, all the resources. They match their business to what's in their market and don't just wait for the market to pick up. The market might pick up, you can get those resources in again, but you don't have to keep them all the way through. The third thing I'd say is to keep on top of your finances and cash flow. And there's two very good ways of doing that. Online banking, I think, is a must for business people. You can see from your phone, from your iPad, what's going on with your bank, what money has come in, what your balances are, where you're going over. Never before has all this information been so available. And it's such a good way to keep an eye on cash flow. And linked to that, there's cloud accounting packages now, which I strongly recommend. They're really, really good at, for keeping an eye on cash flow, for credit control. Some of my clients that are using cloud accounting packages, if they're waiting at an airport and they've got like an hour to kill, they can do a whole lot of useful stuff. They can send statements to people, they can follow up invoices, they know exactly where they are, and they can really work on their credit control. Another thing to be careful of is building leases. There's great opportunities out there. It's a buyer's market. So don't be pushed into a fixed term lease, maybe 5 years, even 3 years. Go for a year, have a break clause at a year. Try and get 3 months rent free. Sometimes you can even push for 6 months rent free. But just don't feel that you have to get pushed into what was traditionally normal leases. There's nothing normal today. It's a buyer's market. It's a big commitment for a company, and landlords are doing deals. The fifth thing I want to talk about is credit and offering credit. It's far better if you can get cash up front. And I believe it's even worth giving a discount to get cash up front. And companies are prepared to do that. Certainly, I've been in a position where suppliers have said, we'll give you, it has to be a sizable enough. I think 2%, 3% isn't enough. But a 10, 15% discount, fine, I'm happy. I'll pay up front. I'll pay that week. I've got the money sitting in my deposit account or my current account. I'm happy to pay, but I want that discount. For the supplier or for your business, is it worth it getting paid now, 10% less? You get €900 now or €1,000 in 4 months' time. Often the former is more beneficial. And it's about weighing that up and really thinking about the cost of credit and potentially bad debts. When buying things for your business, shop around. I think this is really important. Always keep an eye on what other people are charging. Particularly online suppliers. Because online suppliers, by their very nature, can offer better prices than bricks and mortar companies. So do keep an eye on what's happening on the net, what prices have been offered. Often they throw in the postage, so it's not even any extra delivery charge. And it's really worthwhile. I've had clients that made significant savings by using online shopping. The other thing is to keep an eye on what's happening in Northern Ireland. I have customers in Dublin that use suppliers up in the north. It's only an hour drive. At the moment, the euro-sterling exchange rate is quite favourable towards the euro. And people have made savings of 30-40% on some of their supplies. So those two places I'd certainly keep an eye on, Northern Ireland and online shopping. The last thing I'll say about cash flow is to keep an eye on your cash flow against what you expected it to be. So to have a weekly or certainly monthly exercise where you look at what actually happened against what you expected to happen. So it's like pulling out that budget again and saying, where was it different to what I expected? And that's a very important exercise, because what it is you're learning about your own cycles, what's happening in your business. You learn an awful lot of really good information because you expected it to be a certain way and something different happened. You're much better informed as to the next month, what might happen. And getting close to your business cycles is paramount to running your business well and being successful.